I just want people to spread awareness that like if you are stealing from a musician, you are not just stealing like, a piece of property or, something that was really nice to them. You're stealing part of the way they express themselves. And that is so screwed up in so many ways. Like,
yeah. Allergies, man. This summer weather is killing me.
But you're still here.
Yeah, I know. Like emotionally, I'm good. Mentally, I'm good. Physically, I'm dying.
Well, that makes one of us who's good on 2 of the 3. I'm over here just dying collectively.
Dude, whenever I was a teenager, I felt that way all the time. And I look back on those days and I was like, what on earth was wrong with me? Like, my love for emo music and progressively getting into heavier metal and things of that nature. Like, why was I so angsty, man? Like, what was going on?
I'm starting to catch up with that feeling. I might start listening to some heavier stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, good news is I'm still a huge heavy metal listener. But I have only ever dabbled in actually the process of creating music. We had Leon on 30 some episodes ago now. And he got to tell us a little bit about his creative process whenever it comes to writing for a fitting end and all that fun stuff. But I brought somebody on who's had a significantly more influential part in my music development, to the point where he actually recorded a song with me at one point. Maybe a couple. I don't know. We have to look into that a little bit. But this week, Aaron, I brought on a very great friend of mine from high school. You know him. You love him. You watched him play guitar at least a half a dozen times. And I know I've been to a couple of his shows. Welcome to the show, Brooks Martin.
Woo!
Yeah.
We love
Thanks
you,
for having me on,
Brooks.
boys. Happy to be here.
Happy to be here. Proud to play the guitar. And various other instruments. You're not just a guitarist. I don't want to frame that. I know that you also play the bass. I think you probably play the violin. You probably play the upright bass at this point, maybe the cello. Back when I knew you, you played pretty much every instrument that I thought of, which was like drums and guitar. But I mean, that's good enough, right? That's all instruments.
Well, I feel like calling me anything other than a guitarist is sometimes a little bit generous, only on the basis that like I can adequately play a guitar. I can adequately play the bass. I unfortunately anything without frets, nope, can't do it. The violin and upright can't do that. But like I can play drums, but I don't consider myself a drummer. I can play the ukulele, which I got behind me. Don't consider myself a ukulele player. I can play the mandolin. I can play piano. I think
the theremin.
Theremin. I want one so bad. Oh my god, that'd be so cool.
What's a theremin?
It's like whiny, like you like move your finger.
You just gesture in space and it does noise.
What is like there a name for people who play the theremin? Like, you have guitarists who play the guitar. Is there like a thereminist? Is that what they would be referred to as?
Theramidian. Psychopaths.
Psychopaths.
They're Mensa members. We found them, boys. We found them. Yeah, no, Brooks, you're a phenomenal musician through and through. You called yourself an adequate guitar player. That's downright bullshit. You're a phenomenal guitar player. I've met people who've played the guitar for like 3 times your life existence, and they are not nearly as good or ever have been as good as you are. So, let's go ahead and replace that adequate with quite exceptional.
Oh. Well, thank you very much.
But you're allowed to be humble. Just don't lie to the listener.
I feel like I ruined like my process of becoming a better guitar player the second somebody was like, "Hey, you want to play in a pop punk band?" I was like, "Yeah, totally." And so I was just playing 4 chords every night for the rest of like my life.
That was it. It was just 4 chords.
Just ended me as a guitar player. Completely nuked my skill set.
At one point, like your guitar teacher is like teaching you how to play like classic music on a 6-string. Sounds beautiful. You're doing a phenomenal job. And then all of a sudden you come in one day and you're playing bar chords and he's like, "Damn it, They got him.
I'm like doing like the classical guitar. I'm like, don't waste your time on me. Just like start ripping into it. Like,
I miss you. Damn, man.
Here's Wonder Wheel.
Wonder Wheel. I've never felt more personally attacked in my entire life. I just want to make that very clear here.
Oh, good.
You're also a great vocalist as well. I do want to go ahead and point that out.
Yep.
You know, I don't think we actually shouted that out at this point just yet. But Brooks, so, you know, I've already mentioned you went to high school with us, which is awesome. It was great to kind of see like a rising star in the same area as me. I didn't think that was ever going to be a thing. But I'm very curious, like, how did your music journey start? About what age did you actually get your hands on your first instrument and decide, hey, this is this thing right here, that's where it's at?
So I was 13 years old, and
what an age.
Yeah. I think actually at one point, my grandfather tried to teach me to play guitar at 10. He's the only other person in my family who's ever had any musical experience whatsoever. But it just didn't take with me. I was a crazy, like, spastic ADHD kid who just like could not, stay focused long enough to learn something. And on top of that, he was a bluegrass player, so it just didn't really appeal to me. I wasn't a big bluegrass fan. When I was 13, I think just on my way to the store with my mom or whatever, and she had just bought the CD AC/DC Live.
Nice.
And she popped that into the CD player, and the very first song on there is Thunderstruck. And I heard the intro to Thunderstruck and just instantly was just enthralled, like just in amazement, like, oh my God, that's so cool. And I turned to my mom at that moment. I was like, I want to play guitar. And I think that was like in the summer of, I guess it would have been 2005. And that Christmas, they got me my first guitar. And so started from there.
Do you still have that guitar by any chance?
I do. So I, at this point, actually don't know off the top of my head how many guitars I have. But
oh my God.
Yeah, it's not like something crazy, like 40 or something like that, but it's like, I don't know, 8 or 9, probably.
More guitars than you would ever need.
Yeah. But I've always had the commitment that out of all the guitars I have, if I ended up having to start selling instruments because, I needed to make ends meet, the last guitar I would sell is my first guitar. I've kept it all these years. I've beat it to hell. And it does not sound nearly as good as all my other guitars, obviously, but there's just so much sentimental value in it that like I could never get rid of it.
Do you remember when we went and did a photo shoot?
Yes. No, that was that the first photo shoot for SFP?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was probably for SFP, but I wasn't 100% sure.
I think I was wearing like a Reptar Devil Wears Prada shirt or something like that.
I would guarantee money that you were.
I would too, because that's all I ever wore for like many years.
I know I'm close to finding these photos. They're here somewhere.
And we also, something we talk about often here is dressing for the job you want. And I think most of the hardcore musicians that we watch do shows have somebody run out a new guitar every song. So I just firmly believe you're dressing for the job you want.
Which involves guitars, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I got a few of them back there. I think you might be able to see them at frame.
We can. What are some of your favorites?
It's like picking children. You're asking me to pick between my children and like tell you which one I love more. And,
which one have you been playing more so lately?
There's a good one. Okay, so the two that I've been playing the most are currently in their cases because I took them places. But from my videos that I've done for the content creation stuff, you often probably see me play this guy, which is my jazz bass. It says butts on it. And,
as it should.
Big interesting fact, but like Brooks, you had a massive impact on my musical influence, and also just in general, like as a musician, I honestly, I sucked at guitar when I met you, and I never really got great at guitar, but you did teach me a lot on guitar. And I remember I would come over to your house, we'd hang out all the time and just play. You would show me a couple new things from time to time, and yeah, no, it was a great time, man. I remember those days back when before life hit us and we all had to go be adults.
God, the worst, right?
God, man, Jesus,
adulthood.
Hell.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome to hear, man. Because like I didn't realize, I knew we played a lot together. I didn't realize I had that much of an influence, and I'm happy to hear that. Glad I could be a part of that for you, man.
Oh, dude, I would have gave up on guitar like way before so I still have a bunch of guitars. Like I'm like you, right? Like I have way more guitars than I'm ever going to need in my life. I have an 8-string guitar. I have a 7-string guitar. No real reason why, right? Like I can't play them very well. I can play them, just not very well. 12-string guitar as well back home. I have most of my guitars back in West Virginia currently. But yeah, man, I bought so many guitars over the years. But before we get into that, I want to take a second here and go ahead and let all of our listeners know that we are over on Apple and Spotify. So our show here, lovely video that you're probably watching on YouTube. We have the audio platforms that we're over on. So check us out over there. If you're on the audio platforms, go check us out over on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We have an X, Twitter, whatever the hell you want to call it. We don't post much there because Twitter is a cesspool. I'm not a big fan. But, check us out over on one of our platforms, wherever you like to enjoy and consume your media. And, give us a follow, give us a comment, give us a like, leave us a 5-star rating on Apple or Spotify, that kind of stuff. The little things really help us out. So we really appreciate it if you guys would go do that. So thank you all very much for listening. And let's go learn a little bit more about Mr. Brooks here.
Sure. Let's do that.
Yes, sir.
Wow, that was so forced and campy. I apologize to everyone. Just sure, let's do that.
Oh no, it's like that TikTok trend, the NPC. Popcorn. Yum.
So Brooks Martin, more about the inception of the artist that is the Brooks Martin.
I like where this is heading. All right, let's go.
I didn't know this show was like that. This is awesome.
Right. Oh man, I thought I was just gonna talk to my buddies. I didn't know I was gonna rekindle with them.
Surprise. You're actually here to get married to us. Yay. Yeah, man. So 13 years old, you hear Thunderstruck by AC/DC. You tell your mother, I want to play guitar. And then you get your first guitar and you start learning a little bit of diddly-doos and chords and here and there. So, what really started getting you into the genre that you found yourself enjoying at such an early age? Like, did Thunderstruck leave that much of an impression on you where you were like, man, rock and roll? That's it for life, man.
Yeah. No, I was obsessed with particularly classic rock, whenever I was in my teen years and stuff like that, earlier teen years. And I was really into AC/DC, Metallica, Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, the works. And it wasn't until 2008, I think it was, that a buddy of mine, we were going to a music festival. It was a live fest somewhere in Ohio. And he was like, dude, you got to check out this band. I was just like, I've never heard of them. And he's like, well, you think Metallica is heavy? I'm like, yeah, it's as heavy as it gets, right, man? He's like, no, you don't know, bro. And that band was the Devil Wears Prada. So
I could have guessed. I would have guessed it was them.
And they I'm just watching them. They're if people are unfamiliar with the genre, I mean, it's very heavy music, lots of screaming and stuff like that. But they have synthesizers too. There's dance beats occasionally thrown in there. Just an absolute nut house of music. And then it's all chaotic and screamy. And then their singer, Jeremy, comes in. He just sings. And it's angelic. It's beautiful. And it's wild. And I'm just like, okay, I need to rethink some things. Maybe try something new. So that's kind of what got me into the whole metal thing. I got really into metalcore from there. So, AC/DC and Metallica turned into Devil Wears Prada, and We Came as Romans, and I got really into Of Mice and Men. I've still to this day listen to Someday Came Suddenly by Attack on repeat.
Yeah, same actually.
Like unironically too. Like you don't listen to it to be like, oh man, it's so crabcore scene edgy. You're like listening to it like, man, this slaps.
No, I listen to it and I'm like, oh man, this is so crabcore teen edgy.
Oh yeah. Like zero shame. That album rips.
100%.
And then like later on, that's when I rocked those for a year. That's why I really started self-production as well. Putting metal songs on YouTube. The first thing I really attempted at it was okay, I don't know if you remember this one, Tim. The Facebook comment metal songs.
Yes.
Okay, so that was actually the first time I ever produced myself.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So like, prior to that, I'm skipping over a few things to get to the meat and potatoes and whatnot. But, I'd record with Matt Kennedy back in the day. Worked with him a lot. And, he helped me kind of learn. And then Paul and I were like, we were first starting with music. We did like stuff on like Audacity that sounded terrible and is gone forever. And I'm so glad to hear that.
I want to hear it. Come on, bring it back.
Oh man, I think I know where to find one, and there is no chance in hell I'm telling you guys where to find it. But
Bandcamp, I'm going there right now.
Oh yeah, I mean you can look there. I'll say that. You can look there. But so yeah, we had that out, and it was like kind of stepping stones, but then I started like metal was where I started really producing myself, and with the Facebook comment metal songs, and then I made a whole bunch of other stupid songs. I posted one comment song that I made to Reddit, the our metalcore subreddit, and it got a fair amount of attention, and that's kind of what motivated me to really start doing like more self-production. At the time I wouldn't have been able to call it like content creation, but what I now know is like content creation. And
the early stages of it.
Yeah, like because this was like 2013 2014ish when I was doing this. And it was a great, my songs, looking back on them now, obviously I listened to it, it's like, oh goodness. That was maybe not the best work in the world, but like, it's a process, it was Adventure Time that was like sucking at something's the first step to being kind of good at something.
Yep.
And we can attest to that.
Yeah, it's very true. It's very true. Like you just, people ask how you get good at anything. You just keep sucking over and over and over again until eventually you're kind of good at what you do.
So I want to, first of all, awesome message. That's kind of the big thing that like drove Aaron and I to even start this podcast. Definitely the idea of doing this project and then putting out a perfect podcast episode 1 was like far and away a huge mistake. Like if we had thought that we could do that, we would have been still working on episode 1 instead of being 60 some episodes deep at this point. It's better to suck at something, but still do it than just flat out not do it at all. But Brooks,
yes.
I want to bring up a couple of projects here that I remember, and I'm very curious to see what you remember about these projects. So I've been a big fan of your music since senior year in high school, I think was when we started really looking into it.
Oh boy, I think I know where this one's going.
So tell me, do you remember, I think you only ever did one album. It was a self-produced, but do you remember Snowflake Epidemic?
Yep.
With your album Unmisconceptionalism. How the hell did you say that?
Unmisconceptionalismness.
Unmisconceptionalism. Yep. You had
oh Lord.
Appears to be 7 songs on the album. I'm missing one of them, unfortunately. But the one that stood out to me is I Hate Alex Collins.
Oh man. You took me down a road of like, oh, guys, gonna talk about the album. He's gonna talk about the album, and then I hear I Hate Alex Collins. I'm like, never mind. Nope, this is gonna be a great conversation. Let's go. Dude, I honestly feel bad about that song nowadays. I really do, because so when I made it, the story behind that song was that God, people are gonna like look this up and somehow find it online. I'm scared now. So I missed Paul's birthday party because at the time I was playing in the first band I was in, which was a classic rock cover band called Wicked Pretty Things. And
I remember that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that was my high school job. And I had a show the same weekend as Paul's birthday, and we like booked this month in advance. I just didn't think about the fact this party might be that day, and so I had to miss his birthday party. And Alex just kept coming up to me like in like every other period and just be like, "Dick move, Brooks. That was such a dick move." I was just like, dude, come on, man. I feel bad about it enough. Like, and I've talked it over with Paul, you know, I think I brought him a gift and everything. I was like, I talked it over with him. It's cool. Like, I feel bad about it. He's like, still, it's a dick move. I was like, so like the next day, dick move, Brooks, man. You shouldn't have missed this party. Dick move. I was like, dude, stop. Like, this is getting like kind of bad because I already have these like bad feelings about it. And then like, it was like a third day and I'm literally sitting there like pen and paper in hand because I'm trying to write to this new riff I just wrote. And Alex just walks up. He's like, "Hey, Brooks, that was a dick move you pulled yesterday." I was like, "Dude, you need to stop now. I'm going to make you regret it." What, man? It was a dick move. And so I wrote at the top of the paper, "I hate Alex Collins."
Yes.
And that is how I Hate Alex Collins, the song came to be, was he would not leave me alone about missing Paul's birthday party. So I wrote a song about how much I mockingly do not actually hate him. I haven't talked to him in years. So
I remember hearing the song and I'm pretty sure I was vaguely aware of the story, but as far as I was aware, all of us were friends at the time. So I just remember finding it to be a relatively humorous, like, you know, little jab at our friendship or whatever. But yeah, no, that's an oldie, man, an oldie.
Yeah. The reason I feel bad though is just because like some of our friends like at school would not stop singing it, especially because we got it recorded and it got put on that CD and it went around and people would just walk up behind him, start, "I hate you, Alex Collins." And I was just like, it got to him. I could tell it was really starting to get to him, and I feel bad. So, Alex, if you're listening to this, I am sorry for writing that song. It was a joke. People took it too far, and I'm sorry. Like, I also apologize on behalf of myself for just who I was in high school. Not everybody saw the arrogant, kind of self-centered, narcissistic kind of person that I was in high school. Some people got the full brunt of that. I think I kept it relatively under control when I was around my friends. So to them as well, I apologize. I was kind of a dick in high school to some people, quite a few people, I'd say. And I apologize to anyone listening who went to high school with me and had to deal with that.
Girl, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we all go through that.
Yeah.
I think we're lucky if it's in high school.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
I've met so many people that they still exist to this day too. They all seem to fall into that relatively same age gap as well. But, you know, I tend to find most people I speak to who are aged like 15 to 22 happen to think that like they are the best, smartest person in the entire world and that everybody else around them is dumb. And, you know, they say that if everybody else around you is the asshole, they're not the asshole you are. So yeah, all of us, man, when we were kids, we were all a little arrogant. I thought I was the shit. I don't know what I thought I was the shit at, but I thought I was the shit. I was like, I could easily become rich and famous if I wanted to. Here I am at 30. I'm neither of those things. Damn.
I just got like this ego, I think, just because like I was learning guitar and like my brain inflated like that to be something so much more than what it actually was. And I was thinking like, cause I was learning how to like shred and stuff and whatnot, play super fast. And, you know,
Yes,
exactly like that, actually.
Yeah, exactly like that. Yeah, that was spot on with what I do.
Dude, you nailed it.
But so like I had this like thing of like, man, nobody that I know can play as good as me, so I must be one of the best out there. And it's like then like YouTube became a thing, and I saw that, oh, this person with 15 views on this video is 4 billion times better than I'll ever be. Wow, that's cool. Like, and it was very humbling, which is kind of what I needed. I needed to be humbled to see that like I was not nearly as good as I thought I was, and I need to kind of take it down a notch and, you know, have a bit more respect for other people, and, you know, a little bit.
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah, you learn and you grow, and that's what's important. You look back on those times and you find it just a little cringy, but you can also see how you've grown since then, and that's what's really important here.
Yeah.
So my personal favorite project that you were ever a part of, Sealed for Freshness.
Yeah.
I've had the lovely opportunity to see you guys play live a couple times at the park, and I think somewhere else. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I did very much always enjoy that music. Yeah, like I always just it felt like heavy metal, kind of like metalcore for nerds in a way. like the fucking punch right before the breakdown always got me, dude. Jessica Albatross, like the names were always cracked me up, man.
Yeah, dude, SFP was an absolute blast. I was crushed when that like came to an end and everything, but that was probably one of the most fun projects I've ever been a part of in my life. Just because, I mean, it was just me and Paul. We've been friends since like the 9th grade. We really didn't, because fun fact, Seal for Freshness predates Neil House.
Damn.
Yeah, Neil House played its first show first, but we've made Seal for Freshness in July of 2012 is when we first started writing for that. Played our first show, I think, in like November of that same year. And at first we were just really conflicted on what we wanted to be. My favorite band then and my favorite band still to this day is Enter Shikari. And I wanted to write something kind of akin to that, but not blatantly ripping them. Which is the struggle of every musician ever.
Clap.
Yeah. I was like, no, only 2 claps. We can't put 3 claps in because then we're ripping them, right?
So I have a list of 6 bands here that I just wanted to briefly mention and get a little bit of input from you. Neil House was the next one. The 5th group is Nostalgia and Anastasia.
Yeah, that one was fun. So that's like if we're naming off, the Mary Me Jordan, Snowflake. If you had, I was waiting for you to bring up Party in Purgatory. I don't know if you were going to or not.
I knew I was forgetting one. Damn it!
Party in Purgatory was basically like just a predecessor to Nostalgia and Anastasia, so it's cool.
I have Peace Out Girl Scout still on my phone.
Oh my god, with the MS Paint album art I used to do. Oh my god,
Aaron, did you see that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Focus
God.
Camera.
Focus.
Oh my god.
Oh god, yes.
Oh yeah, I made that.
That is tight.
MS Paint, baby. But so Nostalgia and Anastasia, that one is the first one where you can name. I don't really have a whole lot of regrets for. I thought that it wasn't the best, but I feel like I did pretty good on that. I don't listen to that one ever, just because I'm like that one was made when I first learned how to use a drum machine, and I was like, oh my god, I don't have to get a drummer now. I can just actually make beats.
Dude. It's so funny, but so I still have the song Anteloped, and every time I listen to it, every single time I listen to it, the drums are just like I'm like, damn, bro. He was like, you're sitting there like keying in drums like every other second. I was like, this is insane. No human can play this.
Oh yeah, like and there's like no humanizing, so like everything's perfectly on time, and like there's no like dynamics to it, so every beat is exactly as hard as the other one, and then it's just like 4 billion miles an hour of just chaos. And so I was kind of still learning there, and it kind of makes it a little bit hard for me to listen to now. And plus the guitar tone back then, I won't get into too much detail. I'll keep it in like more of the layman's terms, but like it was bad. It was a Line 6 Spider 2 with a TS9 with another pedal emulating a TS9. So it was just so much distortion. It made no sense whatsoever. But the lyrics for it I thought were really funny.
Yeah. So, yeah. That was actually the first time I ever had the opportunity to have my own voice recorded and be a part of a song.
Oh yeah.
So that was really cool. Alex was a part of it. James was a part of it. It was a great time. I think James was there. I want to say he was.
I think he was, yeah, because I can't remember if that was I think y'all were just hanging out that day because I don't think it's when we were doing the one song.
I'll let you talk about that song.
Oh, I would love to because it's I actually listened to it. I'm not even kidding. Like a couple weeks ago,
dude.
Like I pulled it out of my email.
I still have people that like every now and then I'll show it to them, and they're like, "Dude, that's a really good song." But really? Hold on, we'll get to that one in a second. Sure.
But yeah, so Nostalgia and Anastasia. So that was like a lot of fun. Antelope, as you mentioned, was a song about the mer bear, which was a half mermaid, half bear creature that my friends and I came up with.
And it's called Antelope. Like
it was called Antelope. That was based off of a YouTube video that was like viral at the time, where a guy was riding a bike down a dirt trail, and all of a sudden an antelope just hits him. I was like, he got anteloped. So like, I don't know. I was really stupid. Still
kind of
a
project of its time.
And then there was like Mad Mr. White, which was a song about a man who dreams of being a dragon, but he will never be a dragon because he's a guy who will probably be an accountant.
Oh, I remember
Step
that
Brothers
one.
Totally ripped that.
Yeah. That they actually did because that album came out in 2012, I think. I did a lot
that sounds probably right. Yeah.
Like 2011, 2012. I think I was working on it like right after I graduated, right about the time we were going to Warped Tour. I think is when we started working on that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm trying to think of and the Peace Out Girl Scout. That was a song about a ninja pizza delivery man. Pay with cash or pay with your life.
Such fantastic.
This kind of led into Seal for Freshness as well, like with later on with Seal for Freshness. I don't know if you got to hear some of the newer stuff we were writing, like when what I consider the golden era of SFP, which was like 2016. We had the Copacabana Banana Hammock, which was a song about a man who slowly discovers his wife is indeed an ostrich.
These concepts are just banger after banger.
He mentioned Jessica Albatross. That's the song from the perspective of a dolphin. Yeah, it's just like there's like one section that's just like echolocate. That's just the line. It's like the pre-chorus. There's a song called My Favorite Color is YOLO. That was a song written from the perspective of the last dodo bird to ever exist. And like his final days.
My favorite color is YOLO.
My favorite color is YOLO. The one you mentioned with a Falcon Punch breakdown, that's just a song about generally being like awkward. That was like the closest we came probably to a serious song until like later on. I think we actually had a serious song.
Was that Scrabble the movie, thegame.com?
Yep.
Okay, I thought so.
Scrabble the movie, thegame.com. A lot of I have to give credit where it's due. A lot of the song titles, quite a few of them, came from Josh Wright, if you knew him. I don't know if you know who it was, but
yes.
I know who Josh Wright is.
Okay, you do know Josh Wright. Okay.
I mostly only know Josh Wright. Well, I met him a couple times in person, if I remember correctly. My memory of like 25 and younger is like shot because of all the alcohol I've drank over the years. So, yeah, nothing personal, Josh, if you are listening to this episode, but I mostly recognize him from all the memes Paul tags him in.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they play off of each other like crazy. He helped out. Like he was kind of like the honorary third member of Seal for Freshness. In fact, I'll confess right here, I don't know if I've ever publicly disclosed this. The main chorus riff to Jessica Albatross is the only riff I didn't write for Seal for Freshness because Josh brought that in and we wrote the song around it. So
that's sick. That is amazing. I didn't know this. Fun little facts that I get to learn today.
Yep, he actually wrote that riff. And then I just then the verse riff is just the same chords, but like I just like picked it instead of strumming it. So
what's incredible too is Sealed for Freshness is still very much open on YouTube. Like the channel still exists. All the music that we just talked about is on there. So any of our listeners who's interested in going to take a look at Brooks's music from 7-8 years ago, go check out Sealed for Freshness. They were an awesome group, and I really, really enjoyed their music.
Well, I guess I'll give y'all a podcast exclusive.
Ooh,
Paul and I have talked recently, and I won't say what we've done, but we have hit a snag in things that held things up. But some progress was made.
Dude, this is giving me like the Beatles' last single vibes right now. You know, like I'm going to be paying attention. I'm going to be paying very close attention to the Facebook page and the YouTube channel in case any hints of something interesting is coming our way. So
there was something that was getting started. A snag kind of got hit in the process, but I don't think that's the end of us trying to figure things out. We had a really screwed up ending to how, I don't know if you heard about how the band ended or anything like that, but long story short, we were playing a show and we were actually making an album. It was going to be called Finding Identity. And this album was about 95% done. I'm an idiot. All my backtracks and all of the tracks for like making the album were on one laptop, no backup saved. That laptop got stolen.
Oh.
And I was given another laptop to try and recreate it, but I was just so burnt. I can't put into perspective how hard I worked on this album. Like when I say 95% done, I would sometimes work 16 hours a day, 3 days straight working on this album. The drums to make them, I had to replace every sample by hand. Every single time you heard of a kick drum was a copy and paste. And you can hear it on what we did release on YouTube because like Copacabana, Small Soldiers, and actually the thing that's called the, what we call it, the Last Minute EP, that stuff was done using that technique with the drums. And we had like 9 or so songs done and it was ready to go. And it got stolen and that was the end of SFP.
Dude, that is so awful.
Oh, yeah.
There's somebody out there who had a laptop with all of this hard work and effort on it, and they probably didn't even realize what the hell they just stole.
Oh, yeah. That was kind of like the thing I had about it was everyone was like, you know, give us the details about the laptop. And I gave out as much details as I could, but more than anything, it was just like, I don't think we're going to find this thing. I think it's just gone for good. But at the same time, you know, I just want people to spread awareness that like if you are stealing from a musician, you are not just stealing like, you know, a piece of property or, you know, something that was really nice to them. You're stealing part of the way they express themselves. And that is so screwed up in so many ways. Like,
yeah,
I mean, it's hard to really convey that sort of a concept to people who don't, if there's somebody who doesn't play music, they may not understand it, but like think of something you're passionate about, anything, you know, if you like to, you know, draw or something like that. And, you know, there's like that. I feel like artists sometimes have like utensils that are like this one specifically. I like this one specifically. Imagine if that one got taken away, you know? So like it can get really difficult, to go through that. And I think people don't sometimes realize they look at the material thing and not like what it means to the person they're taking it from.
Definitely. Yeah, no, I completely understand that. Like you said, 16 hours a day, 3 days a week for, I'm assuming months and months and months. That's a whole lifetime that they just stole from you. Like that's insane, man. Like that's more than just this. That's more than just like a summer. That's more than just like a side job. That was your livelihood, man. And they took that. That's so terrible. I actually never knew that's what happened with Sealed for Freshness.
Yeah, we had like, after it got stolen, I think we had like 3 shows that were just already booked. SFP was going crazy towards the end of 2016. We actually at one point played 17 shows in 3 months, which is the most shows I've ever played with any band for any amount of time. We did like a 5-day run at one point where we played like a Thursday, a Saturday, and a Monday. We did a festival kind of thing, it was like a festival that moved from city to city. So there was like a whole weekend. Like we played on a Saturday, crashed at somebody's house, and played on a Sunday. Like we were playing shows like crazy throughout there, and the whole time we're working on that album. And then right towards the end of like our leg of shows before we were going to take a break, that's when it got stolen. And we finished off the remaining ones with just some like, I had like email backups and just like old mixes of like our backtracks, and we used those to finish off the shows, and that was it.
Jesus, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really hoping that SFP does have a future, some way, shape, or form, whether it's like you and Paul are able to figure out how to release the old music or something, that would be incredible. I'd love to hear that. Or at least, complete the album one day. It's the magnum opus. But yeah, so love SFP. Awesome project. Probably going to have some links around here for people to go check it out on YouTube if you want to give it a shot. I highly recommend it. It might sound a little dated, some of the early 2010s music and everything. Like, I find it very nostalgic. People nowadays like Baby No Money, so I have no idea. But I love Baby No Money, by the way. In case anybody doesn't know, Baby No Money, that's the Gen Z Eminem right there. But so he says in his own song. But yeah, so Brooks, there's one other project that I have written down here. Do you want to talk about that?
Oh, there it is. Killing Charon, baby.
Killing Charon, Bleak House.
Yep, that was the song I was referring to. We were talking a little bit before we started the show here, and he mentioned, I don't know, have we gotten to the thing you're surprising me with yet, or
no, not yet.
Oh, geez, now
it's not music related.
I'm nervous now. Oh God. Killing Charon was the thing I was withholding from him. I still have the final recording of Bleak House.
Well, funny enough, it's also up on YouTube.
Oh my God. He's even got the album art. Let's go.
Yeah. Aaron, do you remember this song at all?
Oh,
I'd have to hear it, but I distinctly remember sitting in a basement listening to you guys play.
That probably happened too, yeah. My memory is shot on that.
There it is. Oh, God.
I just kept holding that for some reason.
Because you fucking could.
You held that for like a freaking eternity, dude. That was actually impressive.
Dude, James was a fucking beast, man.
It was actually pretty solid vocals. You know what I remember about this next part?
What?
Wait for it. It was, go Timmy, play guitar. Go Timmy, make me hard. Go Timmy, play guitar. Now it's time to harmonize.
Oh my God, dude. What a walk down memory lane.
Oh man, I was actually, that was a lot of fun to record. Like I remember we were in James's basement, we were writing that and doing the demo for it. And yeah, I just remember sitting down there and like going through it all. And like we had my laptop hooked up to like some like cream white computer speakers, I think, because that's like the computer speakers I had at the time.
Yep.
And we just had it cranked all the way up because for some reason our amps needed to be loud to play over the drums that we had on speakers. Like, oh, okay.
Didn't James have like this really shitty speaker that one of us was using? I feel like Alex unfortunately had to get stuck using it or something.
I can't remember.
I remember he was playing bass, if I remember correctly.
So yeah, like when we did the demo, James was on bass and Alex was doing vocals, and then I don't know what happened with this decision. I was just like, okay, you guys do this. When we get there, and then it was like, okay, Alex, you're actually gonna play bass. Like we informed him while we were at the studio of Matt's. Alex is gonna play bass and James is gonna do vocals. Like they switched like right before we started recording. I was like, okay, so.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened with that. Man, I do vaguely recall during that recording process, so I made Alex really upset. So it was probably something stupid I did back during my dumb phase. But hey, man, we cranked it out. It was a 3-day long situation where we busted out a song from start to finish. Some pretty impressive work for a bunch of like 18-year-olds in a basement recording in a in a studio. This was back when I worked at the jewelry store too. This is
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I remember I had to put in for a day off of work because I was like, yeah, I'm going to the studio to record a song.
But at the time, that was like the big deal for like, yeah, I thought about that like as like it was something big too, like back then, because it was just like, oh yeah, we're going to the studio. It's really my friend Matt's basement, but like he at least had nice stuff, so I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, no, he had legit like equipment and everything. The way he would, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the process is. Like I vaguely understand audio engineering at this point, and that's only because I've been working on this podcast. If you told me to engineer music, I would have no idea what I'm doing. So yeah, whatever he ended up doing, I think it sounds like it was good.
Have you heard like everything he's been up to lately?
No.
He's currently the guitar tech for Morgan Wallen.
No way.
I'm not kidding.
Dang, dude.
From what I understand, and Matt, if you're listening, sorry if I get anything wrong. I guess he went off and played. I think he was in Nashville for a while. He was like interning at a studio. And then he played in a tour, like a national touring country band for a while. He described it to me as bro country. And then after a while, something came together, and now he's the guitar tech for like specifically, not just like for the band, like for specifically Morgan Wallen. Like he's his personal guitar tech.
Dang, that's cool. Awesome for him.
Yeah. So congrats on everything, Matt. He one of the like 2 or 3 friends I have that like I can say like made a career in music, and that's cool as shit.
Hell yeah.
Sure.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, good for you, Matt. And also thank you for, letting us record. Yeah, letting us record in your basement that one time. That was dope.
Oh yeah, I did 3 albums with him. Or no, I did 4 because he helped me with Marry Me Jordan as well. I forgot about that. So I did 4. No, 5 because he did the first the unspoken of first EP from Seal for Freshness. That if anybody looks up Seal for Freshness, first of all, you search for the name Fresh with a PH, and it's going to suggest freshness with an F. You just have to click PH1. And if you see a picture of me jumping over a tennis net, don't click that one. Please don't.
I'm looking for that now.
No.
Looking for it.
The Dubst EP, or I think we call it Dubstep, I think. That was our first EP, and it was beyond rough.
I love how you're 100% correct. It just immediately is like, hey, don't you mean Sealed for Freshness with an F?
And it has some woman going like that.
I don't think I see this. I don't think it exists online anymore.
The Dubs CP.
Yeah, I don't think it exists anymore. Damn. That would have been a nice little nugget to dig out.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't. That's like, because like later on SFP, like when I talk about SFP's golden age, like 2016 is when we like started really nailing the formula, and like our songwriting became a lot more consistent. And the older songs, they were fun, but like, they weren't the best displays of like what we were capable of, and we were just kind of being goofy. And then like later on, like I was like genuinely proud of like the songs that we were putting out. And then I looked back at the old songs and I was like, oh my, like not my best work, but
that's just growth.
Yeah,
it's
100%.
growth. Exactly. It's 100% growth.
I 100% feel like I can find that. Man, I want to say that you at one point were selling like physical copies of it, maybe.
Oh, yeah, whereas,
and I really feel like I have one in my mom's house somewhere that I have to dig out now. Well, whenever I find myself in West Virginia, which who knows when that'll be, but
holy soon, go see me, man. We'll go get a burger.
I won't share it online though, I promise.
I'll share. It's fair.
I'll just share it with you. I'll be like, bro, look what I found. Click, send a photo.
I'll tell you this much. I found a copy of Misconceptionalismness laying around in like a junk drawer, and I broke it in half and threw it in the trash. I was like, nope. This may be the only copy I have of it, but nope.
Dude, I 100% still have a copy of that as well.
Yeah, I mean,
100%.
I mean, it's like what Aaron says, like he's 100% right. Like, it's growth, you start out and like, I put out so much music of me having no idea what I was doing. And now, like, if we look at what I do now, I feel like, I'm still learning a new thing every day, and I'm still maybe not the best out there. And, I've still got a ways to go in the journey of learning how to do kind of refine the craft, so to speak. But, like I'm finally to a point where I listen to what I do and I can just genuinely think, okay, I like what I'm doing here. I'm comfortable with what I'm doing. And that's been like probably the most rewarding part of like what I've been doing lately is actually finally getting to that point that I feel satisfied with what I'm doing.
Well, it's actually a really awesome segue, Brooks, because we've talked a lot about the past and you building up over the years and everything, but we haven't had the opportunity to talk about what it is that you exactly do nowadays. I mean, you have a pretty wildly successful TikTok going on right now. But I've seen a couple of your videos. You've been breaking thousands of views. I think you had one that actually went it kind of went viral, right? Like it was a Fallout video or something.
Yeah. So, the TikTok thing, and I had to upload to that. And like, I think I've done maybe 5 videos in like the last 2 or 3 months just because life. And I've just kind of been trying to figure some stuff out about my content creation and like what it is I want to do, how I want to do it, when I want to do it. There's just been like a lot of complications. So that's kind of been the hold up there. But like you said, with the viral one, so that was, it got like 1.5 million views, I think, or something like that. And it was just it was literally just whenever the Fallout TV show dropped. I love Fallout 4. I have played the absolute shit out of Fallout 4. I think one time my friend looked at my like time on my PS4, like because he has a thing where you can see amount of time. I would have said 500 hours. Apparently, I've played like close to about 3,000 hours or something like that of Fallout 4. But I just took a random clip off of my PS4 and put it online because Fallout TV show was going crazy. I was like, oh man, people will probably like to see this. And then next thing I know, it's just like, oh, it has 100,000 views. Cool, I haven't done that yet. Oh, it's got 250,000. Oh, it's got 1 million. Oh, it's got 1.2, 1.3, and I think it's right at about 1.5 now. And
damn, man,
yeah, it was wild. But yeah, so that was my most successful video, and I guess it kind of hurts sometimes to think that that's my most successful video, only because I didn't really put any work into it. And that's how it goes in content creation. It's the first thing you learn about it is it's the stuff that you like either don't care about, that you didn't work hard on. That's the stuff that sticks. That's the stuff that resonates with people and, gets the attention that you want your harder work to just get. So it's rough.
I'll never understand it. I don't get it. My wife would say the same thing whenever she would post vlogs around her coffee business and everything. She'd be like, yeah, I had this idea. I workshopped it for days and I eventually recorded it and took forever to edit it. Got like 30 views versus like the video. She woke up and she's like, I got to record something real quick. Posts it, gets 2,000 views. And she's like, what the hell, man? Why is this happening to me?
We
actually had a video on YouTube recently go over, we broke our first 10,000 views on a single video on YouTube.
Oh, nice,
and it's currently sitting at like 11.3 or 11.4.
Hell yeah.
Which is awesome and completely unexpected and out of nowhere. And I was like, damn, did we peak?
Just part of growth.
It's so wild when that happens, just because it's just like it was just like how I was describing it though. Like it's the one you didn't expect. You're just like, you put this one up and it's going to go up and everything's cool and whatnot. And then it's just like, oh, this one's got 10,000 views. That's great.
That's
like,
amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And like the video itself is great. I love it. I think it's an awesome conversation. And I've gotten a lot of awesome feedback. People telling me that they thought it was a great episode. And Master Jason Knapp is an awesome person to sit down and talk to. But just out of nowhere, like I didn't think there was anything different about this video versus our other videos. Like I didn't do any different editing techniques. There's nothing like stand out difference from any of our previous episodes. And YouTube was just like, hey, Get this one out there. Get this one out there, boys.
The algorithm works in mysterious ways. Like,
yeah, good old Al, man.
Oh.
Hallelujah.
Praise be the algorithm.
So,
like,
Brooks, what kind of projects and stuff are you getting into these days? You know, you said TikTok, you've been kind of taking a break from there and working on content creation as a whole, but what do you do?
So, you know, I go under the name Brax online. It's BR5AsCKS, which my friend told me was terrible marketing, and he's probably right.
BR
like they're not gonna
5As.
5As CKS.
And then what was it? X?
CKS.
CKS. Brax. Okay.
Yeah. And so I make music and gaming content for there, and then just occasional like random stuff. Random video where we have whipping cream in the fridge. So I went to the fridge and I was like, oh man, I gotta go get me some whipped cream. And I pulled out the whipping cream. And I was like, oh man, it's been 2 weeks. How much longer is this gonna take? Like, just stupid jokes. It's whipping because it's in the process of becoming whipped.
How long is this gonna take?
So it's like stupid shit like that. You know, I'll make stuff like that. I cross post a lot of it to YouTube. I don't really do a lot of like YouTube exclusive kind of stuff. The community on YouTube I found is like a lot more critical and a lot more harsh. So I'm usually like TikTok. Not to say that TikTok just gets whatever I feel like, but you know, because I put a lot of passion into like anything I do. But I'm always really careful about what I put on YouTube because man, those people can be mean sometimes. They're you know, there's so many good people on there. There's really supportive people, and if somebody has something bad to say, a lot of people will just offer like some constructive criticism, which is good. You know, we need that kind of feedback. But man, some people just slam you on there, and it's just like, whoa. And TikTok, I've only really had like maybe 1 or 2 people who really kind of like said some like hurtful things. And you know, when you do content creation, it's like inherent. You're gonna get, you're gonna see hurtful things, and we can talk about turning the other cheek. You can talk about like, oh yeah, I mean, there's whatever strangers on the internet, but like, dude, sometimes it freaking hurts. But you just kind of have to like, take that. But so because of that, like YouTube just is less of a thing I usually go towards.
Yeah, I can understand that. YouTube definitely, I feel like there's a certain level of expectation because you have ridiculously talented filmmakers who go to YouTube, and I mean, they're essentially making studio quality. Well, actually, most of them are working in an actual studio, but they're making studio quality content, short films, things of that nature, and they're posting it to YouTube. People can just go to YouTube and watch that stuff. But TikTok is more of like a user base created, like just record on your phone, just use this really cool filter that we got and post it up. It's only got to be 20, 30 seconds long or whatever. So people are a lot more, they're aware that that's what they're getting themselves into. But I'm very interested because I am looking at your YouTube here. And you have, so your most recent video was from 2 weeks ago, Poison from Has Been Hotel, pop punk cover.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope.
I think I actually made that video, like that one was posted to TikTok like a couple months ago, and I was just like, man, I really have been neglecting a lot of things. Is there anything I didn't post to YouTube that like I probably should have? And I was like, oh yeah, the Poison cover. So huge fan of Has Been Hotel. Have watched that on repeat. Would recommend it to anybody if you like cartoons, I guess, but like adult cartoons, and if you like musicals, you will love it.
You have an awesome video on your channel called Storytime Humpty Dumpty.
Do
you remember this?
Yes, I do. All you did was you posted like that, like the Humpty Dumpty sound while Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, all the great king's horses, all the king's men ate his soul. You just posted it on Facebook. I just saw that. I was like, I want to make that into a thing.
Dude, that's incredible.
Also, Brooks, I'm sorry, but you may have to retire champion because right now you have 69 videos on your channel.
Oh,
Damn, dude.
do I really?
You got to start a whole new channel now, man.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. I had no idea.
Yep. Whole new channel
I'm
now.
like, I'm sorry, I'm like pulling it up to like verify this information and probably screenshot it and make it my background on my desktop.
Making your background. Hell yeah.
Let's go. Oh my god. How do I view my channel? I don't even know how YouTube works. I do. I have 69 bit. I'm never uploading to YouTube again. All right. We will use my platform here to announce that the YouTube channel has ended. It will not be taken down. It will stay as it is for forever. If I upload anything further, I must remove one video, which I will.
New channel is Bratton.
Barton.
Yeah, it's like Brax, but Brooks.
I could make it like Merton. Like Merton.
Merton. Put a bunch of E's in it.
Dress up as a wizard, Brooks Merlin.
Brooks Merlin. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, that'd be kind of a banging pseudonym for you to do.
Oh man, that's
you could be like Buckethead, but instead you'd have like a crystal on your head or something.
Yeah, I mean, I've already established the one like kind of alternate personality on the TikTok that like I just kind of play with and was thinking about doing more with, but then eventually just kind of quit doing it. Where I have the red jacket, the glasses, like in the picture. I was gonna like make that into a thing where like I'm Brooks, but that's Brax, you know? And I don't know. Can I recommend a TikTok video to pull up so you can see like the idea behind this? Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't typically go to TikTok on the computer, so let's see if I'm even signed into our TikTok on there.
Let's see.
Yep, I am. I am in fact signed in.
All right. It is. Trying to see if I can find like something you can search that will pull it up.
Are you Brax? Yeah, you're Brax on there as well.
Yeah, I'm Brax. So basically what was, I did a cover of, me and my buddies did a cover of Clint Eastwood by the Gorillaz. And it was like my first time I really kind of showed off the idea of like, oh, this is two different people maybe, you know? And oh, there it is. I wonder if there's a way I can get this to you.
You could copy the URL and put it in chat.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. There you go. Copy link. And shit. I have to learn how chat works. This is actually my first Zoom call ever.
Dude, I love that.
We're happy we could be here for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys
That's
are
what
my
we're
first.
here for. If there's any copywritten music in here, it is what it is.
No. It's all cover, so it'll be all right.
Perfect.
So, give you a little bit of background because at first it's just a cover. Pretty simple. I can't remember if they sent this one to me or if I just decided I wanted to do it. But I think it might have said it to me. I put the bass on there and I was like, I want to do the vocals too. I love this song. I love the Gorillaz.
Such a good song, man.
Wait for it.
Finally, someone let me out of my cage. Now time for me is nothing cause I'm counting no age. Now I couldn't be there. Now you shouldn't be scared. I'm good at repairs and I'm under each snare. Intangible, bet you didn't think so I command you to. Panoramic view, look, I'll make it all manageable. Pick and choose, sit and lose all your different crews.
So that was my first attempt to really like show it like, oh, it's two different people, and I just never like went any further and don't think I've actually done like the jacket and glasses thing since. So
it's like you had this idea, you started it, and then you were like, I'm gonna scrap that.
I was gonna make like a lore too, like a deep lore kind of thing, and like leave clues, but I don't have that much time. I don't have time to make videos, so I don't know how I'm gonna have time to make like like a lore.
Dude, that has been one huge fight on my side of life too. Trying to like balance the editing of the podcast video Aaron does the audio, I do the video. So it's two completely separate like experiences essentially. And it has been rough, man. And also managing like TikToks and stuff like that. Like I work full time. I don't have and on top of that too, like, you know, I work full time Monday to Friday, and my only off days are Saturday and Sunday. And, you know, every other week I'm on 24/7 duty, 7 days a week. So yeah, it is what it is. We make it work somehow.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. Weirdly enough, okay, so I have like kind of the opposite problem that most people would normally have, in that they think, oh, you know, I can't do that today because I have work. Work is where I have my most free time for creative things because of what my job entails. If I'm ever home, like, you know, I'm doing laundry. I'm cleaning. I'm, you know, running errands. I'm getting, you know, groceries, like this and that. Yeah.
Video games, TikToks.
Well, because that's what like led to me like the big boom and like where I actually started with my TikTok and everything.
Yeah,
was I had a laptop. It was actually, to give you an idea of the age of this thing, because this was last year in like fall that I got this PC.
Right.
That was the laptop that was given to me when SFP's laptop got stolen.
Holy
crap.
crap.
I had it since 2016, and it was it was a laptop that was from 2009. It was a refurbished laptop.
Dude.
So I was trying to make music on that, and it was no longer feasible. Like it wasn't running well enough to like actually record anything. So I ended up like, you know, like, okay, you know, I guess I'll just make electronic stuff, which, you know, I made a few tunes like that. Some of them actually came out kind of good. And then a guy just gave me a PC. He had a gaming PC sitting in is my boy, one of my coworkers. He just gave me it because he had it sitting in his house. He didn't know how to work a computer. He bought it from this dude and they had no idea how to work it. So he's like, I don't even want it. You can just have it. And it's not the best one in the world, but like, I was like, oh my God, I can make all the music I've been wanting to make for years, but I can't. And that's what really started with the TikTok channel. I was like, oh my God, I can finally make this music. And then recently I also discovered, wait, it's a gaming PC. Shit. That means that's for gaming and I can do gaming stuff because I've also never had great gaming equipment. So like now, you know, people laugh at me because I'm like, oh my God, I'm playing Skyrim at 60 FPS. And they're like, oh, yeah, that's cool and everything. I'm like, dude, you don't get it. I used to play this like on my PS4 Slim and it ran at like 25 frames per second and had like a 0.3 second input latency. Like this
with
is
the
great.
old crappy graphics, not the new updated, remastered, re-released, I don't know. There's so many different versions of Skyrim out there. I'm pretty sure I can play it on my refrigerator actually now.
Oh yeah.
Damn, I had to rip that tag off. That thing was itching me. But hey, so Brooks, we have been recording now for a little over an hour. We try to keep our show pretty tight down to about a 45-minute to an hour long time frame. Every now and then we find ourselves in an engrossing conversation where we keep digging ourselves deeper and deeper and deeper, like we did with our friend Jeff Jones. But Brooks, I am going to go ahead and give you the opportunity here. Is there something that we wanted to talk about or that you thought we would talk about that we haven't had the chance to hit on yet before we start closing out this show?
I think probably my favorite story from playing a show ever. And I'm going to leave out a couple of details because I don't want to name like the band in this like story because I don't want to like out them. Even though I doubt they would care, but still just cover my bases here. So I went to play this show and we were opening for this band that I really liked. I can't say who they are because you'll see, but they were, I was like so excited to meet them and everything, you know, because that's like the best part. Anytime I get to open for these bands, it's like, it's somebody that I really admire. It's like, oh, I get to hang out with them and stuff. This is fun. This will be a good time. More than anything, I really like the idea that I get to see these bands for free because I go play the show and they don't ask me for money when I walk in.
Fair enough.
So the problem is this band, I know their music, but I don't know what they look like. I've never actually looked up pictures of them, you know? So going there, I was like, okay, but they'll stick out like a sore thumb. I'll know who I'm looking for. And I looked for them and I just couldn't, I was like, I don't know. These guys, like everybody here just kind of looks the same. But I've run out of time. It's time for me to play my set and everything. So I'm telling this story really shittily. I just realized, sorry.
I'm having a glorious time.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I'll get back into it. So we're at the venue. I'm looking around. I don't see anybody who looks like particularly, you know, like they are in this band and whatnot. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'll just, you know, go about my day. I'll see him later on. It'll be cool. And so we go up and we play our show and we get done playing. And after you get done playing, you're always like hot and sweaty, like pouring sweat all over the place. And I put on my after show shirt. It's a life hack for musicians. Always have an after show shirt because you're the one you're wearing. People are going to want to come up and talk to you. They're going to, you know, say hi and whatnot. You need to change your shirt. You stink. It's just a fact of life. But the best part is it's like cold outside. And so like I changed to the new shirt. I go out the back door of the venue into an alleyway and it's just whoosh, just beautiful cold air right on my face. Now at the time that I played the show, I was kind of a stoner. Smoked a lot of weed back then. I do not do that now. Don't do it anymore. But at the time I did.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. We're pretty big advocates for that.
Oh yeah, no. Like, oh yeah. I should probably clarify that. Like, I am in no way, shape, or form against it. It's that I'm clarifying that to my employer who may be watching because I work for the Department of Transportation. Fair and enough. They like to random and stuff like that. But I mean, they can random me all they want. They're not going to find anything because I just don't do it anymore because I was like, as much as I love it, as much as I think it's bullshit that I can't do it, it's not worth losing my job over if that's the, you know, so I completely agree. I had to give it up. But at the time, yeah, like every single freaking day, man, just completely ripped out my cord. And so I go out there and the first thing I hear is one of my bandmates yell, well, there's the guy you need to talk to about smoking weed. And I was just like, what? I was in ecstasy in this cold air, but now like suddenly I'm hearing something about weed. I'm like, there's weed involved now. Like did I just die on stage? Because this is fucking heaven, man. And I look and there is a gentleman deep frying Oreos in the back alley. And he's like, oh, here you go, bud. And just hands me a bowl. Yeah. I'm like, I would love this strange man frying Oreos in the back alley of this venue.
I trust you with my life.
Yeah, I trust you with my life. Oh, man. I was into it. So he hands it to me and I, hit the bowl and I talked to him for a bit. And then I would later regret having to say to him as I walked away, I was like, hey, man, well, thanks for coming out, man. Glad you're here. And he's like, yeah, no problem. And I was like, oh, shit, that offended him. Whatever. Jesse wants a cigarette. So we go across to the street and, she has a cigarette out in the car. We come back and we're walking across the street and all of a sudden I hear a voice go, hey, y'all play that Leonard Skinner music? And I was just like, the fuck? We do Freebird sometimes, like speaking to this disembodied voice. I realize it's coming from a van. And I'm like, hey, what's up, man? It's Deep Fried Oreo Guy. Deep Fried Oreo Guy's in the driver's seat. And he's got another guy in the passenger seat and everything. And that's why I noticed insert band name here on the side of the van. I was like, no. I'm like, oh, dude. I'm like, you guys are, dude. I love this album. I love this song. But I just start gushing because I'm horrible at meeting like people that I have admiration for. So,
just starstruck, dude.
Oh, dude, you were there when I met Rory from Air Shikari. I was like, you guys rock.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That was verbatim what I said, and I still regret it, and it keeps me awake at night sometimes.
I feel that. I feel that.
So I'm talking to him a little bit. I was like, yeah, gushing. And he's just like, so you guys want to like smoke in our van with us? I was like, yes, I'd love to. And I'm like, instant, like nervous, excited, 4 billion emotions at once. I'm so ready for this. So we get into the back of the van and we start passing a bowl around and everything. And I'm like thinking, okay, you've already said enough stupid things. Don't say anything more stupid. And there's like, so what are, where were you guys last night? Oh, yeah. We played in Harrisburg, I think is what they said. Where you guys playing next? Buffalo. Cool. Like, I'm just completely shitting the bed on this whole thing. Like, just horrible. Asking the dumbest questions. It's so bad.
What's your blood type?
Yeah. You guys like music? like the dumbest. Like, I might as well have been asking him that. And they were just like, look at me like, is this kid okay? Like, we gave him like 3 hits of this stuff and he has not calmed down. Like, so
somebody get this man some Prozac.
Yeah, like he needs something stronger. Like, do we have any like deep indicas back here? Because like this guy, he's just jeez. So he detects the awkward and that I'm trying not to be awkward. So he starts like, oh yeah, check out this music video of this band I like. I was like, yeah, sure, cool, I'm watching. And so it kind of de-escalates everything. I calm down, everything's fine. Weed starts to set in. I'm like relaxing. Well, that's great. And then it's time. He's like, all right, well, let's head back inside. So we go out the door. And he tells me, oh, push down the lock. The electronic locks don't work. Okay, no big deal. So, we all open the doors, push down the locks. They shut their doors. I shut the van door. And instantly, I feel this horrific pain in my fingers.
What?
Oh, man.
I had shut my fingers in the door and it fucking latched. Like, I'm not talking like that, like half latch where you have to like push it again to get it to stuck. I mean, this thing is shut and manually locked. There's no electronic lock. So I'm instantly in a lot of pain, but I don't want to freak out and freak these guys out any more than I possibly have already done. So I just look at him. I go, hey guys, got a little bit of a problem here. It's just a little bit stuck. And the bass player just goes pale, like completely white face. He's like, oh my God, are you okay? And the other guy who was driving, Fried Oreo dude, he runs, like just about does like 1980s action movie slide across the hood of the car, like rips open the driver's door, dives over the driver's seat into the back seat to pull the latch, and I open the door. And I was like, oh yeah, there we go. That's much better. Yeah. And I look and there's just, my knuckles are just black all the way across.
Oh,
luckily,
man.
I already played.
Yeah. Oh, I guess we're good. Yeah.
You're like missing your entire fingers. You're like, yeah, I'm good to go, man.
Yeah, no, keep in mind, like I'm doing the, but like internally, I'm like, like I am in the worst pain ever. It hurts so goddamn bad,
dude.
And that bassist walks up. He's like, are you good? You need to go to the hospital? Like, no, we're good.
I don't have insurance.
I don't have insurance. I can't afford the hospital.
I'm fine. I did not look for them. I avoided them the remainder of the fucking show. I didn't go near them. I was mortified. Jessie just walked by. She's pointing and laughing at me. She knows the story. She was there.
Damn, dude. Yeah, damn, though.
So that was probably my favorite road story, was getting to meet insert band name here. I wish I could name drop them, but because I want people to listen to them, but I don't want to out them since it's a drug story.
A drug story. And also a story about deep fried Oreos.
And broken fingers.
And busted knuckles. So, I mean, that's an incredible story, Brooks. I have seen that story already on your TikTok, and I was laughing my ass off the first time I watched it, and it's still just as funny the second time I heard it. But so I promised you at the start of the episode that I was going to bring up a deep cut memory that I have. I feel like all the other stuff we've talked about like has blown this out of the water. This is just something that I was like, man, this was really cool. But way back in the day, back when you and I used to hang out all the time, you showed me a couple things in my life that stuck around and were majorly impactful. So Halo 4 SWAT, that was always a fun time. I remember that was the first time I ever played. That was over at your house. That was a great freaking time, dude. Slenderman: The Arrival, you showed me that game. You convinced me to play it on your laptop, just scare the shit out of me. It was like midnight or something. But one thing that I still watch infrequently to this day is Marble Hornets.
Oh yeah,
and you introduced that to me, and I still think it's an awesome YouTube series that it got all the recognition it deserved and everything. And I know there's some controversies and stuff that's happened in the recent years with the creators or whatever. I don't know if it's controversies. They had like a falling out or something, but either way, like it's still a really it's still a really awesome series that's enjoyable to watch. I think it holds up pretty well too for the found footage style YouTube video.
Oh yeah.
But man, after digging into some of these other deep cuts, I'm like, man, it's just not nearly as cool as I thought it was going to be.
Oh no, it's super cool because like I hadn't even thought about like where we used to play like Halo 4 SWATs and stuff like that. Dude, that was so much fun. I had so much fun hanging out with you on that one.
Dude, we used to just hang out and play video games, man. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah. Like we played video. Did we ever? Let's see. We played Halo 4. We played Slender. I know there were other games. Were you around for like when I was playing like Red Faction Guerrilla or like?
I remember. I don't think you were playing this game. I think we went to go hang out with one of your Neil House buddies, but he was playing like this zombie game. I don't remember. It was like an online zombie game, and he was like really big into like racing games and stuff. He had like a whole race car setup or whatever.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're talking about Nick. So that was DayZ and iRacing,
right? Yeah,
yeah, that's what it was. He, and that's the guy. The current band I'm in, by the way, is called Three and Addison. We have an album. I think they said something about it coming out this coming Friday, which would be the check calendar. The 16th, yeah, that's it, 16th.
By the time this episode drops, that album should already have been out for a couple weeks at that point. So we're gonna have the link to it down below if you can purchase it, whether it's like on Apple or Spotify or Amazon or wherever you can buy it. Right, just send us some links so we can share that around with our listeners. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. But that's the current project I'm working on. I guess I forgot to drop that. Three and Addison. It's with the brothers Jennings, so to speak, Nick and Trevor, that I played in Neil House with, that I played in Fort Swim Wars with. We just kind of moved on to Three and Addison. We played our first show a couple weeks ago, or about a month ago now. And Fort
Wins Wars. That was another one. That's a more recent album that you came out with. It's more of a harkening back to like the early 2000s to 2010 style, like pop punk, right?
Oh yeah. So the first EP, Won't Go Quietly, or the fun fact of the day, the album says Won't Go Quietly. We paid for that album art. I won't say who did it, but he typoed it and we didn't catch it until after like the album dropped, and we just kept it like, fuck it.
Whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, and then that second album was probably the most personal album I've ever written in my life. The lyrics to that had a lot to do with like stuff I was going through at the time. And it hurt to write, but I was really proud of how it came out. And I think that's kind of what led to like us just kind of giving up on Forts. Was we had such like high expectations, but no energy to like promote the album once it came out. And so then it's like, well, we did nothing and nothing happened. So fuck, like
time to quit.
Done. Yeah, guess we better call it quits. Like,
whatever.
The album killed the band, but like, if anyone ever wants to listen to that, it's an album called Middle-Aged Youth by Fort Swim Wars, and it's on all streaming platforms. And it's a very, very personal album to me. It like broke me to write that album, but it was a challenge. And then it came out, and then like literally after that, we never practiced again. We never did anything. And then Nick was like, "Hey, so I'm getting back with my guys in 3IA because that was a 3 and Acid was a band from before Neil House." And he was like, "I was like, oh, cool. When are you guys like gonna start practicing and writing?" He's like, "What do you mean, you guys? Like, you guys? Like?" He's like, "Dude, you're playing guitar for it, right?" I was like, "I guess so." Like, I had no idea.
You're like, fine.
Yeah,
this is like my fifth project with you, Nick. You know, might as well, right? You're his forever guitarist, dude.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, we've been in, because we did Neil House, then Fort Swim Wars. We had a brief thing called The Rest is History, like in between there, where we played like one show under that name. And now we're playing in 3 and Acid together. So we've been through a lot.
Jeez, man. I really wish I had been aware of the album and how much it actually meant to you. I feel like we could have talked about that so much. And it's really unfortunate that we touched it at the end of our episode here. So we spent like a good hour and a half getting caught up. And then now that we're like at today, it's like, damn it, we should have talked about that album.
We can sequel bait them, guys. You know, the Brooks 2 Electric Boogaloo. I was a little bit sad when I saw the episode number, you know, and I saw him 67 on this one. And I was just like, 2 more. I needed 2 more. I was so close.
Well, we already have an episode 68 lined up after you, but we don't have a 69 yet.
It might be too. Okay, call the next one 70, you know, because I'll give it some time for some other guests so you guys can keep it interesting and whatnot, you know, because I don't want to force myself into people's lives and whatnot, but I will happily come back on in a sequel. We'll talk about sports and like middle-aged youth and like the hardships I was going through, and we can talk about, sorry, I'm sequel baiting the audience. We can talk about the more details of when SFP was like on the road and some of the crazy shenanigans we got into. And the biker party from when I was in the cover band. I was only 17. There was a wet t-shirt contest, and that's as much as I'll say.
Well, I think that's a lot of baiting there for sequeling.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I would like to bring you back on. I'm sure Aaron completely agrees with me here, but Brooks, we are at the finish line of our first opportunity to record with you. Our second opportunity, I think we should dive a little bit deeper into Fort Swim Wars and talk about middle-aged youth. I think that would be an awesome episode idea. So Brooks, thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate you taking time out of your day to sit down with us and kind of walk down the nostalgic road and waking me up when September ends and other music references here. So thank you so much for joining us, man. We really appreciate you being here with us.
Thank you guys so much for having me on. This has been an absolute blast getting to talk to you guys again and relive some old memories.
Hell yeah.
And to my partners for this episode, the listeners, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate you taking the time and taking this trip down memory lane, and maybe getting a peek behind the curtain and getting sequel baited so we can bring Brooks back.
And for any of you people out there who want to check out, if you've noticed up some of the links that are popping up during the YouTube video itself, or if you're listening to us on Apple or Spotify, check down below in the description for all the links to Brooks's various social media platforms, such as YouTube, Sealed for Freshness YouTube, Bleak House by Killing Karin, if you want to go and listen to that oldie but goodie with Brooks and me and James and Alex, just a bunch of buddies recording, you know? So go check out the links below the description. If you're watching us on YouTube, if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing, leaving a like, leaving a comment. These small things that don't cost a single penny to you help us a lot. It helps us get more noticed by the analytics. And we're trying to have another video break that 100,000. We would 10,000. Very much love it if we could get monetized at some point.
Yes. And every comment I will go through and give you a heart. So if you want to be guest 69, start hitting us up. Start hitting us up quick. By the time you reach out,
I got to do a thing where I hit somebody up. I need that 69 boy. Big type.
So the way that this platform grows is by sharing it. So please consider sharing any of our episodes, any of our posts to get us out there so that we can continue to do this.
Hell yeah. If you do have the ability to do so and you want to support us in a more direct way, or if you want to support us fiscally, you can go check us out. We do have some shirts that are available for sale. Other than that, we do have a Patreon. If you want to go check us out over there, the links are going to be down below. If you want to support us, even at $1 a month, you're helping us a ton. And we have some very exciting projects. We don't know when they're going to be coming out, whether they're going to be some of the more whether they're going to be recorded soon, whether they're going to be recorded later. No idea. Still working on it, but I'm really, really happy with the creative motivation that Aaron and I have been feeling lately. So last but not least, and certainly very important here, our podcast is for entertainment purposes and cannot be substituted for professional medical advice.
If you need help now, please call 911 or call or text 988 for immediate intervention. If you need protracted care, please hit up betterhelp.com/NSLP to get 10% off your first month. And that also helps us quite a bit.
Be good to yourselves and each other.
We love you.
Peace!
Of cake.
Rock on, brothers.
Take a breath, you're right on time. No street lights, but we're finding our way. In the dark, but we've got something to say. Lessons learned and stories untold. Come on in, let the truth unfold. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Words might cut, some might make you cry, but they're here for the real, no reason to hide. Listen close, take what you need, and together we'll plant the seed. They're here to spark change, to light the way. Through understanding we can break the chains. Kindness grows when we open our minds. So take a breath, you're right on time. No street lights, but we're finding our way. In the dark, but we've got something to say.